Are humans fruitarians? Thank you so much for being here. Let's dive right on in. Welcome, I am Saraharyana, and in this message is a transmission from the divine regarding humanity and becoming fruitarian. This can be very triggering for so many throughout the planet regarding diets and fruit in particular. So we do recommend keeping an open heart and sitting with this information, feeling how it communicates to you in your heart and your energy. Let's dive right on into this message. The divine truth: humanity are fruitivores. This is one of the biggest cover-ups from the feeders, from the false matrix, the ones who are currently controlling Earth. This is not about labels: plant-based, vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, so forth. This information is also not to tell any human what to eat. This information is to awaken what each human already knows within. Fruit is the highest vibrational frequency of all the foods on earth for humans to eat. Yes, all of humanity's food has been poisoned to some degree, either through the soil, the air, through pesticides and chemicals. However, the vibrational frequency is shifting on Earth now. The transition to a more fruit-based diet for humanity will be an organic revelation, a natural transition. Some humans have already gravitated towards bringing more fruit into their diet. Fruit is the hydration the earthly body requires for the fifth dimension and beyond. When the original divine blueprint of Earth was created, there were fruit trees all over planet Gaia. When the false matrix flipped the game upside down, they cut down all of the fruit trees that were humanity's source of food. Mind control came in, that eating meat, eating animals was necessary for survival, for your muscles, for your bones, for the human vessel. This information is one of the biggest cover-ups for your species. Eating fruit, especially growing your own, brings in the nutrients your body requires to perform at full capacity, energetically, physically, emotionally, and mentally. The feeders, the false matrix, cabal, Illuminati, know a secret that when eating an animal or animal products, such as dairy, the human is giving consent to the karmic cycle that traps the soul here. This is the feeding off of humans' energy. When a human eats fruit, and this is a transition, it is very important for each human to tune within. There is very little information about eating this way, eating fruit. For many humans have been eliminated, taken out, for bringing forth this information. Humanity is meant to eat simply, not with many ingredients, and eventually will eat one fruit at a time, and then become breatharian. There are some humans that have lived a very long time as fruitarians, and even breatharians. Humanity was never meant to live only to 70 to 100 years old. When on a fruitarian diet, humans will live much longer, for the vibrational frequency of fruit is very high, and there is no karmic debt to pay. However, when eating meat, dairy, and eggs, you remain trapped in the karmic cycle. Your world is changing at a rapid speed. When eating fruit, the veils dissolve very quickly, and you see with your eyes and your energy how the false matrix is poisoning humanity. It is heartbreaking to see so many so sick and in horrible pain. Our message: tune within your heart. Release all of the information about food. The human vessel is designed to eat fruit. And in the weeks and months to come, each human will understand they do not give their consent to being in the karmic cycle, with their energy being fed upon. There are teachers coming forward with the information and how to transition now, and the detox that comes when humans eat fruit. The detox is not only physical, it is emotional, mental, and spiritual as well. We also want to communicate you are your own teacher. Listen to your heart, to your energy. This message is to assist humanity in their freedom. The best fruits are the ones with the highest water content. Grapes is the game changer. And I can already feel many saying, oh my God, grapes and the pesticides, grapes. Hold up, everybody, hold up. Watermelon, melons. These are also fruit with very high water content. Stone fruits, berries. Lemon water, your own lemon water without the sugar. They're calling it like a lemonade water you can make with freshly squeezed lemons, filtered water. Some may want to add honey, but again, using your own intuition here. And really releasing the labels is tuning within. The way forward is eating fruits, discovering new fruits, eating locally, growing your own. And for those that are in colder climates, the way forward is with large greenhouses. It is about community, growing food together, storing food together, cleaning the fruits with baking soda and filtered water, letting it sit for 10 to 15 minutes, and then rinsing it. You can also freeze ripe fruit. Ideally, it is fresh fruit. However, this is not possible for all yet. New technologies are coming in regarding growing the fruit seasonally all year round. So where do we begin with this information? First is listening to your bodies. Eating fruit in the many. You can begin with breakfast, then with lunch. You may want to have a salad for dinner. It is keeping it very, very simple. You may also find that you don't need as much water when you are consuming fruit due to the water content in fruit. They're also bringing in juicing here. This is really simple, everyone. Really, really simple. So it is listening to our heart and listening to the guidance. The other piece of information that will come up when eating fruit is about the animals. And animals hold the purest light, as do children. And when eating animals that have been killed, this is not a high vibrational frequency. You are eating a dead animal, whether that be a cow, fish, chicken. When the majority of humans eat fruit, the healthcare system will be transformed. Humans will not need the prescriptions. The body functions at full capacity. and humanity will live for much longer. Reverse aging also occurs. And side note here, some of us don't really care about the reverse aging. We're fine with the way that we look or the wrinkles. We don't really necessarily care about that aspect, the outer. However, it's the inner that you feel really, really good. And also your energy feels crystal clear. And with eating fruit, you have more energy. Feel clear, feel cleaner. And one of the biggest aspects is you have detached from the false matrix regarding food. I thank the divine for this message. Again, this can be very, very triggering. The intention with this is this is time now. There's going to be a lot more humans, leaders bringing forward this information regarding fruit. And no longer are we in the timeline that we're going to be eliminated when bringing forward information. So we're going to be seeing teachers come forward and how to assist humanity with this transition. And as we eat more fruit, it really comes in. I had an epiphany this morning while I was eating fruit that before I was so judgmental, maybe 20 years ago, so judgmental for what I heard of plant-based diets or fruitarian. And I'm like, how can they survive eating fruit? That was one of my thoughts. How can you survive every day? Like, aren't you starving? And then now, since eating, I mean, for my own journey, this has been a very long transition. And it was recently that my intuition started to bring me towards more fruit, but really it was my friend Bridget from Light Resonance that has been a wealth of knowledge assisting me in this journey regarding the detox that happens. And for some, it is definitely going to be physically. However, I was shocked at the emotional and mental aspect of it, how veils literally dissolve and you can see everything crystal clear of what is happening in the false matrix, more so than ever, ever, ever before. And that belief of, can I survive only on fruit? That's dissolved. And also it's a whole transition. You know, you may need to eat a lot more fruit at the beginning as your body adjusts. And then you find that there is a leveling out that occurs and you may not need as much fruit. And you really do thrive. Your energy becomes very, very light. And this is not about being ungrounded, for we have many practices that are grounding. It is about moving now forward from the third dimension to the fifth dimension. And this is the way forward that humanity are fruitarians. And then eventually we will become breatharians. And we will be living for a very, very long time. We're not talking 100 or 200 years. This is way beyond that. So again, it's this information to bring an ease to our hearts and to bring the power back to the people. Let's bring the power back to humanity. So think of what the false matrix has created and done. It's a million diets. It's confusion, it's chaos, it's fog, and it's doubt. So continually we give our power away to everyone else, to doctors, to other sources, thinking that they know best. However, when we tune within and we really sit with the energy, it is fruit. And you may adjust beginning with plant-based. You may adjust with going forward with vegetables and even cooked vegetables. This may take some time. Doesn't matter. You're listening to your own heart. You're listening to your energy and what works for your body. For some, it's going to be a very quick and accelerated path. For others, it may take time. And for someone that used to love dairy and cheese, this is years ago, and pizzas, and I loved a homemade pizza. That has all left now. Do I miss it? No. because of how I feel, and I'm so crystal clear. And the fruit, I enjoy the fruit. It's on so many levels with the fruit, everyone. It's on so many levels. So this is phenomenal that we are now entering this phase that no one's going to be killed or taken out for bringing forward information. This has changed, and we thank all those that have tried for so long bringing forward the information. And it is there. If you really look for it, you can see it. You can even see it 100 years back, some that have written about this information. So really tune within your heart. It's a very exciting time. It's a very exciting time. And think about that. When we start eating fruit, think of all the kitchen tools that we've purchased. Think of all the ingredients and the things that are in the fridge, especially for those that were always the ones that were cooking for the family. And then when we start eating fruit, it becomes very, very simple. So simple. It's not complicated. So this is honestly the way forward. We can feel this. It is meant to be really simple, everyone. And I leave this message with cows. Beautiful, beautiful cows. I was riding my bike and I noticed that they were all walking through this field. And I stopped to record, and it was the sounds of the cows, was the sounds of them walking through the grass, and animals. As mentioned in the message from the divine, animals hold such a purity of light, such a purity of light. And they also increase the vibration on this planet with their light. Thank you so much for being here. Blessings of love and light to all. Namaste.